Welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Deese. And listen, before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share something pretty cool that we're doing. You know, one of the biggest challenges I hear from owners across the country is in finding and developing great service managers. And honestly, that's exactly why we created Service Manager Academy. This is a 12-week program to help your managers go from top performing technicians to confident leaders. In this program, they'll learn how to lead their teams, protect gross profit margin, and create a culture of accountability and success. If you want the business to run smoother and grow stronger, check out servicemanagertraining.com. That's servicemanagertraining.com. Now, let's get back to the next episode. Welcome back to one of our episodes live from Service World 2025 in Las Vegas. This interview was a lot of fun. They're all a lot of fun. I know I say that. This one was a lot of fun. A little bit of backstory. I think I talked briefly about it during the podcast, but we went on a hike the very first day. There was probably, I don't know, I think maybe 8 of us. And there was one guy there, pretty young guy. We just got to kind of talking, and he was telling me his story. And I went, oh my gosh, we have to do a podcast. And just a quick glimpse of what we're about to go into is our guest, Julian. Tom Peregrino and I actually interviewed Julian Crawford. He's out of Central Florida from APE Services. And those two met, I want to say it's almost 2 years ago. And it is a really, really cool story how the whole thing went down, how Julian even got in the industry. Listen, this dude is 20 years old. And I'm telling you, put him on the list to watch out for. This guy is strong, man. He is going to do some really cool stuff in our industry. But check out this interview.
Running a home service business is hard. So how is it that some people make it look so easy? Well, we'll tell you. This is the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. It's always good to hear the wins that successful contractors have. But have you ever thought that the best advice would be to hear about the speed bumps they encountered, the mistakes they've made along the way? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want you to be successful and avoid the mistakes others have made. Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Now your host, Justin Deese.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Freedom Blueprint Podcast. We are hanging out here live at Service World 2025 in beautiful Las Vegas. Yeah, the party.
Love Vegas.
Last night's party.
Oh,
Really? Was that awesome?
It was awesome, yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
If you weren't there, you missed out.
Yeah, that was, and listen, we brought the house down. Like when we say we closed it down, they're permanently closed. Last night was their last night open. Did y'all know that?
That's true.
Yeah, we did that, yeah.
We did it. We shut it down. So so I wanted to bring Julian on here and to tell a little bit about his story. I want to tell a little bit how these guys met, because I when you told me the other day, it was crazy. And Julian and I met 2 days ago at a hike. So we were like, hey, everybody, let's go hiking. Tom flaked. You know, it's fine.
I had to sleep in. I had to get my rest.
Yeah,
My beauty rest.
it's fine. Julian came out and we got to talking and learning a little bit about your story.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have him on the podcast. I wanted Tom to be here because I always like Tom to be here. So real quick, Tom, I know you've been on the show before, so people probably know who you are, but give us a quick intro.
Yeah, sure, Justin. Yeah, Tom Peregrino was a contractor for 21 years. Sold my business back in 2021. Was a member of Alliance, and then had the opportunity to work for Service Nation. Work up within the organization to have the opportunity to lead the organization for a short period.
President. El Presidente.
And then once I had that experience, I'm like, okay, I want to go back to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so now I still get to help Service Nation. That's why I'm wearing the shirt still. Now I consult for Service Nation, help them behind the scenes, help them at this event, and do all the other things that I like to do as well. But really, I'm only here, Justin, because of this rising star.
Yes.
Like my star is beginning to fade, and there's like little, it's little sparkles. This Julian is a rising star, guys.
Yes.
It's really cool how, I don't know if we just bumped into together or if it was meant to be, but it was really, really cool. And so I don't know if you want to tell the story of how we bumped together.
Actually, I think it would be cool
Well,
if
before we do that,
Yeah.
give an intro on yourself real
Okay.
quick, and then yes,
we'll get into that.
we'll want to get into that.
So my name is Julian. I'm a contractor out of Central Florida. I'm 20 years old. Me and a partner from high school, along with my father, who's the license holder, run an HVAC and plumbing company. We primarily service Tampa and St. Pete. I graduated on a Friday in 2023, and I started working on a Monday in Orlando. I remember the first day we rolled out a line set, 100 foot, and I stepped on the entire thing, and it was kinked the entire way. They had to I didn't know anything about AC other than that a thermostat went cold when you put it to cold. So after 8 months,
or it was supposed to.
After 8 months, I quit. We bought a van. And I started just rolling out maintenances with, we got really lucky with one customer. They had 10 properties. So that was just enough to pay our very little overhead and get everything rolling. After we got everything rolling, we met a guy on Facebook. We were doing some work. And my partner was able to leave because he would work with me at the company.
Yeah.
He was able to leave, work with me. And, we were making so much money that summer. We bought another vehicle. And then winter hit. Which you can read all you want about a slow season.
Yeah,
you won't learn until it hits you. There's nothing I can say. Like if somebody said, "What can I tell you?" I just be ready. I just go to the gym. I don't know. Get ready. Get ready to call because it's gonna suck. So yeah, we've been in business for about a year and 8 months now. I've been in the field for about 3 total years, and I don't know. I'm just happy. I've met a lot of people. I've been very lucky with my father. He started as just a bottom of the barrel plumber, which no disrespect to anyone, grew his way up after 30 years with the same company.
Nice.
And now he's the service director of a $70 million company. And when he was with them, I don't even think, they weren't doing over anything of near that. So he's been with them forever. He's in a position where he can now help. My older brother has an electrical company. I have my company, and he's just like doing exactly what a dad should do. Yeah. He's helping us out, and we're all gonna, it's awesome.
So I want to think about that. So I started my entrepreneurial journey pretty young as well. Mm-hmm. And I can remember there being those challenges of being young. Yeah. Right. And what's funny, and Tom will probably attest to this, you get to where you're the young guy in the room, and then all of a sudden, one day, you're not. Mm-hmm. Very weird feeling.
Yeah, time.
So I want to highlight this too, right? In an era where we talk about employee problems and nobody wants to work, and this next generation is, all this negative things that we hear. Here you are as a 20-year-old, doing it.
Yeah, I mean
it's amazing.
It's definitely real about my generation, but I feel like I don't know. I guess just people need to find what they like to do.
Absolutely.
And a lot of what people like to do are comfortable things. So streaming, YouTube, this and that. So they grow up seeing that. HVAC, being in an attic all day sucks. You don't want to do that. So that's not shiny. That's not bright. That's not cool. I think there was a statistic where like over 70 or 80% of young children want to be YouTubers.
Sure.
Because that's so cool and that's what they idolize and that's what they see. Thankfully, me, I never really was into any of that. I grew up
and you see it is actually a lot of work.
Yeah, and I grew up like going to side jobs with my dad and watching my dad work all the time, and like that was just so normal. Like everyone in our family working is just normal. That's so normal. My mom stood at home all the time. My dad was always working. So it was just kind of like so normal. I started working at 15 with my older brother. We would travel the country wiring gyms for the company he worked at the time, and I didn't think anything of it. That was just what you do. I turned 15, my brother's like, we're going to work, and I'm like, yeah, we are.
Yeah,
and
come on with it.
That's it, and we just work. That's all we do. I mean,
so tell the story about how you guys met, because when you told me this the other day when we were hiking, I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get Tom. This is too awesome.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I'll start with how I ended up where I ended up on this trip.
Okay.
And then I want him to pick up on how he ended up where he ended up. So let me just say, so I go to this home service conference in Orlando. So I fly in to this home service conference, and I'm sitting outside waiting for the next breakout. I don't know. I'm just sitting there. I'm waiting. I'm on my phone looking at emails, all this kind of stuff, minding my own business, here for another conference. And then How did you end up there? What did
Yeah,
you
there
end
you
up
go.
there? How did we meet?
So I always, when I worked my job in Orlando, I would listen to podcasts. Well, I'll never forget. I was wiring air handlers, listening to like Chris Yano, the Rhino.
Yep.
So
That's weird.
On my way home, I was listening to his podcast, and he had mentioned that there was an event going on the East Coast for Home Service Freedom. So my initial thought was, oh, that'd be cool if I could go. Then he said Florida, and I was like, okay, I might actually be able to go. And then he said the name of the building, and I was in traffic on my way home from the Disney area, and it was the JW Marriott. I looked up, it was right there. And I was like, I gotta go. Like, my stomach just dropped. I looked up the price of the ticket, it was $1,500. And at
this point, you're how old?
18. Yeah.
Right?
At the time, let me not say at the time. $1,500 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I called in sick. I talked to my dad. I'm sure he said something to the bosses because he's higher up there. So I called in sick. I bought the ticket. I went to the event. And I think, what did we meet? The second or first day? Anyway, I was running around like, I got to get my money's worth somehow. I just paid $1,500 just for them to tell me, some stuff I could have looked up. But the classes ended up being way more than just stuff I could have looked up. That's what the first day I initially thought, like, oh, man. But I learned so much in those classes. Like, it was so worth it to go to that event. And I also met this guy. I was just walking around trying to meet people. I didn't have a company. I had a name of an idea. I was an employee. And I didn't know anything about anything. So I saw a gentleman in the corner in a suit. And I almost felt bad for him by himself. So I wanted to introduce myself to you. And I was like, no, like, I'm not going to bother that guy. And then just something in my stomach, and I was like, I got to listen to my gut. So I went up to you, and I was like, you look dressed important. I think that was the first thing I said. Something along those lines. And I think you had said something like, I'm Tom. And I was like, cool, you're Tom, I'm Julian. And we had started small talk about, you asked me what I was doing there. I was like, I don't have a company. And you were like, what do you mean? It went something along these lines. I sat down. You handed me your card. It said Service Nation President. And I think my exact words were like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything to me. I was like, that's cool. And I had no idea what Service Nation was. And then we talked for a little bit briefly. And then Roy White and Michelle came up and sat down. And I got to meet them all. And we just talked. We went to dinner that night at Disney Springs. We talked more and more. And yeah, I mean, I just got lucky. And then I think at the end of it all, you ended up inviting me to Charlotte. Yeah. And then we went there with my father and another buddy that was a part of the business at the time. And yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, it shouldn't have really happened, but it did. So.
Well, you said the word lucky, which I want to clarify. Luck had nothing to do with that, right? Like, there's a lot of times where people see an opportunity and they chicken out.
Yeah.
And you had the cojones,
with how I
right? To invest the money, invest the time, go meet this. They're like, well, you look important.
How he ended up.
Well, it's probably a little bit of disrespect on that end. You look important, but when it came to going to the event, I had nothing to lose. I live at home. My parents, I do not pay rent.
Yeah.
I live at home. They kind of leave me alone. This is a perfect scenario to just take all the risk I can because I have nothing to lose. They support me the whole way, and anything I need, like if I need, hey, I haven't paid myself in 4 weeks, my dad will send me money. Like, it's not like some sort of me on my own. It's like there's a lot of people, including people like this guy, and hopefully, we can connect more.
Absolutely.
But there have been so many people that have helped me along the way. So when I say there's no risk, because of my parents, I don't see any of this as a risk. If I take out a $300,000 loan, my business fails, and I owe that back, I'll be 23 and I can get a job. Pay back, and then by the time I'm 30, hopefully it's paid off and I can try something else. Like, there's no, if it's money that needs to be made, I think I could make money somewhere else. So if this fails somehow, yeah,
I think it's a crucial lesson especially when you're early in your business career. Like, first of all, hustle like you're broke. Like, I have a giant sign in my studio that says that to this day because I think it's important. But like, to drive and to not be focused on the negative of it. Because, right, going broke, that's the negative side of it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm focused on up here.
Yeah.
Tom, it could have been somebody else you bumped into, and they could have been like, who are you, kid? Go away,
100%.
I think it speaks to, from the moment he and I began visiting, because I know so many contractors, and I know the typical age in which a contractor takes that leap to be their own business owner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy, Julian, is not doing normal things.
Yep.
He's taking a risk 10 to 15 to 20 years ahead of when most contractors decide, I'm going to own my own business. He's thinking about doing that now. That's not normal. He accosted me in the hallway. That's not normal.
Yeah.
And then as I just visited with him and the way his mind thinks, I'm like, you're different. And then I personally, as a young, I remembered what I was like as a young man. At his age, I was not thinking what he was thinking. I was not looking at taking entrepreneurial risks.
Yeah.
I was just, I was not him. He's mature in the entrepreneurial way at his age.
Thank you. In the entrepreneurial way. I'm still a 20-year-old.
Okay, so so as we're doing this, like I said earlier, we're doing this live at Service World. We're back here in one of the booth areas, and Julian, somebody walked him up here, and Julian said, I went and found, what did you say, an adult?
The trusted adult.
The trusted adult to get me here. So there's still a lot of that, which is so awesome.
I love to poke fun at, because the things that I do are not normal for my age, and I know that, but at the same time, I still am a 20-year-old, and my main thing is I played video games a lot before, and I stopped that, and I was like, however good I get at this video game, no one will ever see however good I get. If I can do business, and that's all I focus on, I can get super good, and I can almost make it a game. The more vans you buy, you need a tech, you need to stock it, you need to do more Google ads. You can almost make it a game with all the metrics and everything you see now. So if I play this game, then everyone's going to think I'm like, cool. Maybe not cool, it's not why I'm doing it, but it's more acceptable, it's more, I can provide for all the people I care about, I can do such cool stuff, and all I got to do is, instead of playing this game, I play a different game, and I just play that game. Yeah, and it's so much better. I love it.
Can I tell another weird story
Absolutely.
about Julian? I don't know if you'll remember this, but it just... So last year we're in Orlando, and we're reconnecting. I'm like, Julian, hey. And so we were able to work out to have dinner together. So my wife and I and Julian, we go out to eat. And me being the old wise man that I think I know a lot, I'm going to be able to help Julian. I remember I'm sitting across the dinner, I'm like, hey, listen. You probably need to check out some software called Bluon that helps you troubleshoot. That technology. And Julian's like, I don't need that. I've already been doing that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah. As he's been going on service calls back then, and not knowing how to troubleshoot, how to fix anything, he'd just go to AI and say, hey, I got this going on. What do you think I should do? He was already using AI to help do his service calls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch the magic happen.
For sure. I mean, I use AI, not as much anymore, because I've been doing it for a good amount of time now. But my partner in AI, my physical partner, not my AI partner, Caleb. I can call that guy for anything, and he's like an AI. He's like a Bluon. He'll get me my issue, and if he can't get it from me, we're on the phone looking it up, and we get it. So having AI, having a good partner, having my parents, the whole support thing is the reason why it's no risk to me, and I can just keep doing my thing.
And I'm like, this guy.
I was probably, so I was trying to think, when Chris and I started our first home service business, I think I was 21 or 22, somewhere in that range.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wow.
And we were alone. Seriously, I mean, there were so many times where I was like, I think this entrepreneurial thing, I think it's a lie. I think everybody is lying. Nobody's actually making money because our revenue, we were way up here, and then at the end of the month, I'm like,
and then as I just...
What do you mean we can't pay the mortgage? What are you talking about?
I'm like...
I was 5 years into running this business before I even figured out there was groups like this. I think, well, first of all, we cannot wait to watch this happen, right? I really and truly cannot. And you're doing it in just the absolute right way, and it's so untraditional. It's inspiring. That's what it is.
I'm excited. I'm not excited for the hundreds, probably thousands of more attics and crawl spaces, but I will just, that's part of it in order to be in the positions that you guys are in. You got to put in the work, and I've put in a good amount of work so far. But I know that there's so much more to do. And I mean, even if I put the next 5 years in, and then it hits, and then I start doing it, I'll be 25. But I think in the next 2 to 3. Hopefully, by the time I'm 23, we have a good team. We've got everything running. Because my issue now is time in the day. I have to, which my partner helps tremendously with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Whatever I need him to get done, he'll always get done. But when it comes to estimating, I have to do my processes, my price book. I have to run out to 2 hours away to a general contracting job we took and bid, and the GC's mad, so now we have to do it over and over, and we have to go back and do certain stuff, and the bills aren't getting paid because we're not getting paid by the GCs. And then I got my friends wanting to hang out on Saturday, and it's like, oh, yeah. So figuring it all out is very annoying, but thank God I don't have a kid, a wife, a girl. As much as I would love a girlfriend, I'm steering far away from all of that because I don't have time for anyone. I just have time for me. And it's kind of selfish, too, because I'll have my grandparents send me things to do, and I'll feel bad because they'll send me, hey, can you help me with this on Saturday? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I got this, or I got this. So it's definitely a sacrifice where you have to focus on yourself for long, but I hope that if everything goes well and I'm able to get it all done, that I can go on vacation with my grandparents and we don't have to look at any other bills,
Very cool.
Be cool like that. So I'm, yeah,
I remember I'm sitting across the
trying to, I don't know, just trying to do the right thing and get it done. And yeah, I also think it'd be cool if I do think about this a lot. If my dad's able to say that's his son, I think that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a big.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he goes,
Very cool.
he's been going on service.
Again, it's inspiring,
then,
right? And you're in this position where so much of the world is talking about your generation, which I think this happens aren't they always like that generation?
I remember when I was a young Gen Xer, and they were like, "You guys are lazy."
Yeah.
The magic happen?
The world shifted, right? And think of how fast the next generation is going to adopt technology to grow. You've already done it. You're like, oh, well, here's this thing I can't fix. AI, problem solving, boom.
Yeah.
Because, running a business, how much of that is just on the fly problem solving? Like,
a lot.
You're just like, well, I don't know. And so man.
Yeah.
Speaking of technology, so when I bumped into him at the conference, a couple of days ago, he's like, hey, check this out. What are you wearing right now? What is going on?
I've got my Meta Ray-Bans on, the smart AI glasses. Yeah. Well, these have been around for a little bit. They've been updating them, and they've gotten pretty good. They just came out with one that has, we're not running an ad for them, but they're pretty cool. You can talk to them, and I've actually used it before to, you can say, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? And it'll take a picture of whatever you're looking at, and it'll tell you what you're looking at. And I've had it before. I think my father used it for a plumbing fitting. Hey, Meta, what am I looking at? You're looking at a fitting, blah, blah. Where are these at? And I believe it did tell him, the Lowe's 10 minutes away, you can get it, just through the glasses. And it said they have them in stock. It was just with the glasses. So it's insane. And actually, there was a leak in a customer's coil. I was in their attic 2 months back, and I had to hold the flashlight and spray my bubbles, and I used this to record so I can show the bubble, the fizzing, so I had proof, hey, here's your leak, and I just used my glasses. So I didn't have to have the phone in one hand, the light in one hand, I just used the glasses, and I made some money off of that one with the glasses. So they've already paid for themselves, and they're super cool. I have a little video of me and my little nephew, who's the best, fighting, he's dressed as Spider-Man, and I have them on, and it's just super, it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Which, seeing that kept me from making a similar mistake of suggesting, hey, Julian, you ever heard of Company Cam? It's where you can videotape.
I have Company Cam, yeah.
Oh, you do?
I use Company
Cam.
Cam.
But I would not have said that because you can do a little bit of Company Cam right there.
Yeah. That's one of our big guys. It's Company Cam. I use it every day. I'm in there and house call.
Yeah. But the fact that technology is growing so fast, and the older generations, like myself, and even millennials are struggling to keep up. This guy's no big deal.
Yeah.
Ain't scared.
I definitely think it's a big thing on mindset, too, because I started reading when I was 8. Well, no, that's not true. I wanted to be successful, so what do successful people do? They read. So I started listening to podcasts, and they would always recommend books at the end of it. So I added it to my cart. One day I bought $1,500 worth of books. I didn't read them for a year and a half because I hate reading. It's so boring, but it's good for you. So I forced myself to do it. Just like I've run and go in the sauna, I forced myself to do it because it's good for you. So I got all the books, and I eventually read through all of them, and as I read through them, it just made my whole process and my mentality just stronger and stronger. So, like, I'm talking now, but if you would have talked to me before I bought those books when I was 18, I would have been an 18-year-old. There would have been nothing different about me. But one of the books that I definitely want to shout out and recommend is Ellen Rohr.
Yes.
She made a book, How Much Should I Charge? Yep. And there was a line in there that went something like, charge for the lifestyle that you want. Oh, I owe her a bottle.
Oh,
yeah.
shout out.
That was a good one. And I bought all of her books, and I have them. I haven't read the other two. But the one that I did read was so good. I need to go home and read the other two, because maybe there's 2 lines waiting in there that might also change my life.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you coming and hanging out.
Absolutely.
It was great to get to meet you.
Yeah.
I know both of it. I'm so excited to watch your journey and to just see where it's going to take you, because I got to be honest with you, man. There's a lot of contractors in here that you're probably a little bit ahead of, or a lot ahead of. And you probably don't even realize that yet. But
yeah, I noticed that it's all me. It's if I, go to bed early, eat good, I'll wake up with a good mind, and I'll get work done. And if I don't do that, then it's really all just me. And like, as much as it is fun coming here and doing this, nobody's gonna be crawling through an attic with me on Monday. On Monday, I got a job already scheduled. Tom, he didn't go on the hike, so I don't know if he's able to crawl through the attic with us. So. He, just stuff like that. I got to remember that it's, when all this and, people saying how cool and how awesome it is, just stay focused and just get it done.
Any show you go to, any investment you make, where you go to a show, you go to an event, if you will just think about 2 things, like just 2 takeaways, no more.
Yeah.
Just 2. And then go implement.
Yeah.
Because I think, so many people want to know what the silver bullet in running a business is. It's implementation. Yeah. Like, that's the magic sauce that most people, they lose or they miss. So
I would definitely say, like, the biggest thing for me would be just go around the people that you want to be like. 100%. Because I don't, no hate to any of my friends that are 20.
Yeah.
But, I can't get drunk on a Monday. I gotta, talk with my buddies that are not in. I absolutely can. And I absolutely have, and I absolutely won't again. But I definitely try to surround myself with people that think the same. Like Billy, for example, he's had you at the gym at 4 a.m. this week, hadn't he? Yeah, and I hated it every minute. He's like, "You want to go in the morning?" I'm like, "No," but I'm going to be. But I told him no, but I'm going to be there because that's what you're supposed to do. And every day I try to run a few miles because the last mile hurts so bad.
Yep.
And if you just do something hard every day, then everything else becomes easy. And I'm not trying to sound like some David Goggins, but it's just so true. Like, it's just true. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with?
And it's 100% true. I'm only 20, and that is 100% true. I have a buddy, I tell him all the time, I'm like, hey, like, the people you hang around are dumb. I'm like, they don't really do anything, they just do this, and that, and he's like, I'm like, all right, dude, all right, yeah. Well, it's so important. Like, when I started hanging around and talking with Billy, that's when I realized. And this was the guy that connected me to Billy. So I met you, and then Billy, and me and Billy talk every day. And I go to his shop once a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's all because you were lucky enough to be listeing to a podcast.
Chris Yada.
And then take action.
Yeah.
And show up at the event.
Yeah.
And make it. So again, what is it saying about luck is the cross of prepared or being prepared? And do you remember what that's saying? I don't know. Something like that. It's like it's the cross between being prepared and execution, and that's luck.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say a lot of it is luck, but a lot of it is just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because if I think about this sometimes, if you would have walked up and went to the bathroom, I would have walked right past you, and I wouldn't be here. My dad wouldn't have went to Charlotte. My brother and my dad are flying in tonight. If you would have just not been sitting in that seat for that time,
getting the goosies.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, put yourself out there, and
you've got to watch.
Yeah, we're all going to be paying attention. We're all going to be supporting you, rooting you on, and you have our info. So whatever you need, you just
100%.
have to.
And you're not too far from me.
Just have to call and say, hey.
Yeah.
I need to know something. Yeah. Or actually, we'll probably call you. Hey, there's this technology thing.
I've got some buddies that are wizards when it comes to the technology stuff. Like with the AI stuff for me, I seem like a wizard, but it's not as complicated. But I know some people that are light years away from me that I could even, talk to and hook people up with, because the stuff that I'm doing with the AI is scraping the bottom. The stuff like making ads and things like that, the stuff that some people I see are doing, it's insane. It's so much more than anything I do, anything I could do. It's huge.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Appreciate the story. Thank you guys for checking it out. And I'm sure we'll see everybody here soon.
You've been listening to the Freedom Blueprint Podcast. Information is useless if not applied. So take what you've learned and go and implement it. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on social media at Freedom Blueprint for Home Services and hit the website at www.freedomblueprintpodcast.com. See you next time.